Welcome back, guys, to a brand new video. Now today we have something really exciting to talk about, and especially for you Wyvern dragon lovers out there, and even if you're not an ARK player, this may interest you if you really like dragons. So today we are going to be talking about how dragons are about to change in ARK forever, and this sounds really exciting. Shout out again to WCCF Tech for this interview with Jeremy, which was full of so much information of where our game ARK is going to go in the future. And this update, guys, will be happening with the Dragontopia DLC coming Q4 2026. If you do enjoy today's video, as always, drop a like and subscribe. It seriously supports me here over on the channel. And let's get in with the video. Right, so future roadmap, Dragontopia, Atlantis, and Galaxy Wars. So, diving into the post-Lost Colony roadmap you've recently outlined, the community has been particularly intrigued by Dragontopia. Is it a special collaboration with How to Train Your Dragon, or just a homage? Now, I am still gonna hold off just a little bit before this, because, you know, they may not be ready to reveal it yet. And by the way, it could very well just, you know, we could be getting a different collab, which could be Jurassic World, who knows, if this isn't the collab. But anyway, Jeremy goes on to say, and he says he laughs, yes, Dragontopia is just inspired by How to Train Your Dragon franchise. We want to explore what it means to befriend dragons in a slightly different way than regular creature taming. We want to understand a dragon as an independently minded, willful creature that behaves more like a partner and less like a robot. When you tame a dinosaur in ARK, it's pretty docile and predictable. With dragons, we want to develop a new mechanic for bonding with a unique class of creature, including a befriending and character development system. It is not a direct collaboration, at least not yet, and it is not canonical. Okay, so I'm still holding on with that, you know, with this end bit, it's not a direct collaboration, at least not yet. So, again, I mean, whether this ends up being How to Train Your Dragon or not, we've still got an awesome collab. I personally think it will be. I think he's saying this right now. He's saying it's inspired. I mean, the reason I think so is just because, you know, there's probably a whole big sponsorship. You know, there's probably so much planning behind this and everything like that. And I just don't think they would announce it now, really. But when we actually go through this Dragontopia, I mean, how awesome is it that dragons are actually going to have a bit more of a personality in the game, maybe a bit more like Smaug, you know, like that kind of thing. And they said they want to understand a dragon as independently minded, willful creature that's more like your partner and less like a robot. And this could be very similar to, you know, Avatar, in the sense of, you know, where avatars are bonded with their, I can't actually remember what they're called in Avatar, which is so bad with me, but you know, when they're flying around, you know, it's just seriously such a cool thing to look forward to in the future, because wyverns are one of the most popular, if not the most popular tame in ARK Survival Ascended. Everyone wants a wyvern, everyone loves a wyvern, whether it's a zombie wyvern, whether it's a standard wyvern, anything like that. They are so popular, and that's why I believe Dragontopia is probably gonna be, I know I say this in so many DLCs, but this I do believe will be a really popular DLC. I'm not going to say the most popular, but because I say that a lot. So I need to hold that back a bit. But I do think it is going to be a really popular one because of how, like, you know, even dragons on their own, not just in ARK, have such a massive fan base. And if someone sees, wow, there's a DLC all around dragons, there's games just on dragons. You know, I saw one the other day being announced on IGN called Dragon something, and it's just so popular. So, if this does get implemented with wyverns in the future, what would you like to see with them? And if not, if it doesn't happen to the wyverns, it's going to be happening to the future dragons that get released within the Dragontopia DLC. So that is seriously so exciting. As for future content, they said we want to take a year off from the hardcore canonical story build out. Legacy of Santiago is in development, a prequel to ARK 2 set on the planet of a rat using ARK 2 mechanics, but we need a 2-year process to build out on that. It's crazy, isn't it? We need to treat our story content as a off-year process as opposed to every year trying to release something in the same scope as Lost Colony. Bob's Tall Tales will have a teaser-type narrative breadcrumbs. Do you mean Bob's True Tales? But not a full build-out. Okay, I think they mean Bob's True Tales there. ARK Atlantis is also a non-canonical Dragontopia is like Disneyland biomes meet Pandora meet Skyworld. Okay, I'm sold. I'm sold. I don't care if it's a laggy adventure. I'm sold on that. Disneyland biomes meets Pandora meets Skyworld, and that's kind of what I expected it to be like. You know, I that's what I had in my head. But anyway, so Atlantis is a giant water world above and below the ocean floor, spearheaded by. Okay, so one thing I am going to say with the WCCF tech is they've got a few spelling mistakes in there. They've mixed Bob's Tall Tales with Bob's True Tales, which I guess is probably easy to do. And they've gone for Nicat. I thought it was Nicatus, not Nicodus. Necodus? Who's that? The creator of Astraeus. He is a partner developer or who does his own creative build-out. It lets us get a completely different take on what art can be. Dragontopia is being done in-house in parallel with Legacy of Santiago, and Dragontopia will be mechanically exciting and visually splendid, but it's not going to be story-orientated in the way Lost Colony is. Do you know what? I actually am excited. Personally, I know for a lot of people that love the lore in ARK, I love the lore, but I don't mind this break. This little break in between, you know, ARK, because ARK 2's delayed massively now. I want ARK 2, but, you know, it's 2028. I've forgotten about it. I know I've said this so many times, but generally, it is so far in the back of my mind now. There's no point even putting any energy into it unless we get some sort of announcement and news on it. But I like the idea of Wildcard taking a bit of a different step this year and giving us something a little bit different that doesn't have to be completely to do with the lore. And another reason is How to Train Your Dragon. Did Disney buy that or not? Please let me know in the comments, because again, if they did, this is interesting the way Jeremy's talking here. Again, I still feel like there's a chance it is going to be a collaboration, especially how he says it's not a direct collaboration, at least not yet. Anyway, so additionally, Genesis 1 is coming alongside Bob's... Stop saying Bob's Tall Tales! Sorry. Bob's True Tales Tied to the Fortune, which is a pirate-themed gameplay upgrade. We're adding a full water world to Genesis 1, expanding it to a map-wide water area to sail ships around with physical water. So a lot of people said, Dom, do you think they're going to add waves and that kind of stuff? And I think that would be a really cool thing for Gen 1. I feel like, you know, sailing your pirate ship with rocky waves and that kind of thing. I mean, we've got some crazy new stories coming with being ARK players. And Genesis Part 2, is coming out alongside Bob's True Tales Galaxy Wars, which is a Starship Space Battles gameplay overlay, and we're letting you have a full space biome with asteroids and miniature planets around the seed ship. What? Wow. I mean, that is crazy. So it's clear to me that Studio Wildcard are truly going for a complete revamp. And I think it's deserved, really, because, I mean, they released ARK Ascended. It was absolutely awful. They talked about it in this and said that, you know, it was a very rocky launch. And, you know, they obviously... The reason why, I'm being so deadly honest, all of you guys know it already, they were going to do ARK 2. They were going to do a free upgrade for Unreal Engine 5 onto ARK Survival Evolved. Snail Games said, no, let's make money. And they released ARK Survival Ascended. It wasn't ready. It was a mess. And they were in a contract that they had to release it by October. And it was just a complete rushed mess. That's what it was. Being completely honest, we all know that. And Wildcard themselves know that deep down. And they're not going to say that to the public, but that's what it was. Over time, they've truly built stuff and they've truly worked hard. And as much as the game's still got many issues, they are trying to do things different and make this experience far different from Evolved. And personally, anyone still out there that says Evolved is, I don't think it's better anymore. I don't. I do agree that all of what's going on right now should have been on Evolved, but they have taken Ascended to a crazy new level with technology now. That's my personal opinion. So they said also, I wonder if there's an overarching theme where there are 2 expansions themed around air and combat. Jeremy says, dragons are not too dissimilar from things we've done in the past, though we're making the flight more dynamic and momentum based. Starships are a very different thing because we're dealing with local gravity. It's important that you're able to walk around and build inside starships as they fly. Huh? And then there is new tech involved with making that work. I mean, if you're someone like me, right, who has been playing ARK from the early days, I used to have visions when I first started this YouTube channel and started playing ARK. They used to talk about spaceships and stuff in ARK, and I'm so glad that never came that early back then, because it would have been nothing. As someone who spawned in with their survivor, looking around, like lagging away as we're trying to spawn into ARK Survival Evolved in the early days, how in the world would we think we'd be flying in spaceships in a space-wide biome while being able to do stuff in that spaceship? They are building a whole new game inside ARK, and I like it. I'm here for it. I don't care. I'm gonna get some negative feedback for it, but I am here for it. But anyway, guys, to end off this video, of course, this is mainly to do with the actual dragons and how dragons are updating in ARK. And, I mean, the fact is they're working on making the flight more dynamic and more momentum-based. They want you to actually be able to befriend a dragon rather than actually just having it as a standard robotic tame like a lot of other tames in ARK. And I think, and obviously, and it's also set to be like Disneyland biomes meets Pandora meets Skyworld. So we have got a very exciting world to come this year with many new features. It may be a slightly quiet start to 2026. We have the launch of Survival of the Fittest coming very early. We have Unreal Engine 5.7, which I've already done a video on, which was yesterday. And then we move on to the launch of Bob's True Tales, Tides of the Fortune. So I'll be here, guys, as I always have been for many, many years, for the last 10 years, keeping you guys up to date with everything ARK. And thank you very much for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.